the brothers hawthorne, but I think it's also different other what because he's my favorite. This character in this book kind of bothered me, which doesn't make sense. Happy Friday and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's vlog, I want to do a book review on this book, The Brothers Hawthorne. I'm so excited, so without further ado, let's get right into this video. I will want to start off by saying that this book is the fourth book from this trilogy. I already made a review on it, but I might redo one because I feel like the old review, I kind of spoke poorly, like not on this, but like my vocabulary used was not the best. I might redo one. I might. Who knows when? But I just want to say that I have read this before and I have like reviewed this before. So this is the fourth book after the final gambit. So it goes doop, doop, doop. This review will be separated in 3 parts with a summary. The second part is going to be the no spoilers, and the third part will of course be the spoilers. The reason why I have divided them in this way is because I feel like I speak a lot and I like just speak what's in my mind sometimes without realizing. So I really wanted to add a part like specifically for that. I will put the times on the screen of when this will happen or in a good like place right now because I will not like spoil, but towards the end of the video I might spoil a little bit and speak what's on my mind during the end of the video. So that's just a little thing that I wanted to add. So as I said, the first part will be the summary. So I'll kind of summarize what happened in the first 3 books to put you in a context to what is happening in the 4th book. If you have not read this series before, it's basically about a girl called Avery Kylie Grams that grew up poor, lost her mother, and all of a sudden someone put her in her will and she has inherited all of a sudden $42.6 billion, which is huge if you do not know. So she is very confused because she does not know the man who has given her this will. She's in a room full of people who do know him and she's the only one who doesn't know him. So la-da-dee-da-da-da, at some point she has to solve a mystery and it involves this man, his son, and another person that if you want to find out, you must read this series, which is so good. I absolutely recommend it. There are absolutely more things I want to say about this book series, but if you really want to find out more about this, I suggest you go see this video on the screen. After the end of this trilogy brings us to here, The Brothers Hawthorne. Okay, so how do I summarize this? So in this book, Avery Kylie Grams was the main character. She was the narrator and she was the point of view we were seeing in every single book. And here we have a dual point of view. When I saw this for the first time, I was a little shocked, a little sad too, because I really enjoyed Avery Kylie Grams' point of view just because I feel like she was so interesting and so mysterious. Seeing someone's thoughts like that, it's very, very fun. But I think it's also very fun to look into different other what characters. In this we have Jameson and Grayson, which are well, how do I have this story? In here, Jameson and Grayson were Avery's love interests. It was a love triangle. I'm not gonna dive too much into that because she did end up with somebody I will not say, because that's a spoiler. You know, I'm actually holding my mouth pretty well this time. I'm kind of shocked. In Grayson's point of view, he's going to be helping his stepsisters, which is not really like a spoiler. In the first 2 pages, are we gonna realize that? So I'm saying it anyways. So he's gonna be helping his stepsisters because there is something that is happening to their family that is pretty much it's pretty big. So I think it's something very noble for him to do. It's super, super cool to see him do that. And then we have Jameson Hawthorne, which he is doing something else on his own. After Avery Kylie Grams' game and all of those mysteries, he wants more. He wants to feel more than that. And obviously, I feel like this was more of Avery Kylie Grams' like game instead of his own. So he tried to find his own game in this book. And that game did he find? He found his game, which involved other characters and new point of views. Well, not really point of views, we didn't really see them. It was very fun. So that's basically it for the summary. Now that we are finally done with our summaries, I think it is time to dive into each of our characters in the no spoilers part, by the way. And shall we start with Grayson? He is a great person to start with because he's my favorite. So Grayson, I actually enjoyed his point of view a lot more than I thought I would. In the beginning, when I read his point of view, I may have thought it was a little boring because it was a little slow to pick up on, but I was really waiting for the puzzle that he was trying to like fix, because I feel like, yes, he did have a puzzle in mind, but when did he actually start to get to it? It was maybe only like in half of the book that you'll see that. I will say I did really enjoy his point of view. In fact, let's go to Jameson now. I feel that I enjoyed his point of view more than Jameson. For some parts, I feel like what Grayson did was very noble. That's something I feel like not many people would say in the last 3 books, because we know him as this cold gray character, and in this book he's so much more than that. And that's what's beautiful when we see other people's point of view and when we see dual point of views, basically. So that's why I really enjoyed Grayson Hawthorne's point of view. Now going to Jameson, as I said earlier, did enjoy his point of view. I think it was easier to bark on. That's the difference between Jameson and Grayson. I think that also defines their personality. He's like, they're easier to like, I don't know, Jameson is easier to like get like on the boat with him and like actually start rowing and like understand what's going on. And so I won't explain too much of what's going on, but he did get himself tangled in a game, which is something that all Jennifer Lynn Barnes lovers, we all know that this is a classic, so we all love it. And I think it was fun to read. I will say, I feel that something has changed, and this is no hate towards Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I absolutely love her writing. I think she's a beautiful and talented writer, and I don't even know if I should say those words because I'm not a writer at all. But I will say I feel that Jameson's personality or character in this book was a little different than the others. And the tension between Avery and Jameson that we would see in other books, I don't feel that we see it in this book. In fact, almost never. The only times we see it, it seems a little forced almost. It doesn't seem very truthful, I guess. But that doesn't go away. I still love Jameson. I still love Jameson, of course. It's just I feel that something was very off about him in this book. So it does not mean I hate it. I actually still love this book, do not worry. So yeah, Grayson, I feel he had character development, or if not, was already developed, because we have never seen in his thoughts so deeply, and now that we have, I feel that us readers, we more understand why he was acting in that way or in this way. And so it's very very cool to be able to see in both of these thoughts. As I said in the beginning, I was a little shocked when there was dual POV and there was not my girl Avery in it, but I am actually very happy that it ended up being these two, because I feel that was needed to have both of these characters' point of views in a book, because yeah, I was actually very curious of how they thought, so that was fun. So yeah, now this is the time to click off if you want to. I am starting to spill everything that I have thought while reading. I will just say everything that's in my mind and everything that is not on my mind. I will say it because this is now the spoiler part. So if you have not read this book before, and if you're just here to see if you want to read it, I suggest that you leave now. If you do not care and you would still love to be here, you can stay here, make yourself a cozy seat, but you have been warned. Okay, so I don't think I'm gonna separate it into Grayson and Jameson. I think I'm just gonna cut right to the chase. In the beginning, I'm pretty sure Nash is bringing everybody together. He sends a 911 text and everybody comes in Hawthorne house, and he says that he's going to marry Libby. I was so excited because I was like, whoa, what? I was really excited for him. And I think he even like talked a little bit about that in Final Gambit, right? Because he said like, oh, I see Libby with baby girls. I don't know. Anyway, that doesn't have to do with anything, but I really wanted to add that because I feel like they kind of saw it coming. I think we saw it coming, but we didn't see it coming at the same time, which is so fun as a reader when you're reading a book like this. So that was definitely such a cool part to read. But something that happened right after that, I'm pretty sure, is that Nash gave the grandfather's ring to Grayson, and he says, why not you? It's a sentence so important to add in this video, because the reason why he says that is because, you know, Grayson was never really with somebody other than Emily, or maybe Avery, the second book almost. Wait, okay, this is spoilers, okay, I can say it. With Avery in the second book, they kissed, but does that really, I don't know. So he's the only brother who doesn't have any love interest or any like love at all. So it's really sad. And the fact that Nash gave him the ring and said, why not you? It's just really, really pretty and so sweet and so kind, and I really wanted to add it in the video because I think it's super important. I'm gonna do a little bit of a timestamp. Now both of them are in the games, and Jameson is talking to his dad now. What? That was mind-blowing to me, because when he first met his dad and after the first conversation, he did not like him at all, like at all. So I was definitely very curious of why he would accept the game that his father suggested to him. So basically his father, because he's been kicked out of a group or something, he asked his son, basically Jameson, to replace him in this like grand game and to play this game for him to win the grand prize. So Jameson said yes, which doesn't make sense. Jameson wanted a game. He wanted a game that was his own, not Avery's, not Tobias Hawthorne's, for him only. And so he got it, but is that the only reason why you really wanted to play that game? Because to me, I don't think it really makes sense. I would have thought there was a little like backstory to that, like a little back reason that they were gonna say later in the book, but they didn't. And the fact that he even risked Avery, his secret, in danger just to have the feeling of another game. It was very interesting to me. At this point, it is Jameson. You can never expect. Now going to Grayson, we'll talk a lot about his sisters too, called Gigi, which I love. She has short hair, brown, and she has a very bubbly personality. She smiles a lot. She's just typical sunshine girl. She has a twin sister. She is called Savannah. She is an athlete. She does basketball. She has muscles, guys, and she is blonde. We can definitely see the differences. She has a cold personality. It really reminded me of Grayson, which is really, really funny because, of course, Grayson's half-sister would be like basically his twin because they're so similar in so many ways, and it's very interesting. Something else about Grayson's POV, which wasn't really his POV, it was like mostly like what happened globally in his POV, was that the first time he actually met like Savannah, so the one who's cold, a little bit like him, it reminded me a lot like the first time Grayson met Avery. He thought Avery was here for bad things and he did not like her at all. The interaction that Savannah had with Grayson was the exact same thing, which is okay. It's just that's what I realized while I was reading the book. So yeah, Avery and Grayson. I was reading the two first books. I was definitely team Avery and Grayson because I thought they just matched each other really well. They had the same personality, the same way of thinking, and they were actually like really they were really similar in ways that I could not explain. That's why I really shipped them in the two first books, or at least in the first halves of the books. So basically this full book I shipped them, then the half of this book I shipped them, and then over here something happened. The second half of the Hawthorne Legacy, something happened, and I was a little like, what's happening? And then in the final book Gambit, I did not let them be together because I do not think that they were compatible anymore. I don't think they fit each other. I think he was not ready and she was ready for a relationship. I do believe that Grayson suffered with severe trauma that he needed to take care of before he got into a relationship, and that's why I feel that Jameson was better for her. Reason why I was talking about this, I don't know if it's just me. It's been 4 books, all right? And like, you know, we all know that Avery and Jameson, they're together, they're soulmates. They're gonna get married soon, I'm sure of it. I don't know why, but Grayson and Jameson and Avery in one room, it just still feels awkward, which, I mean, we understand in the first 3 books, but when we get a full separate book, like, we just expect for them to actually be able to like click, you know, like be able to like not have an awkward moment and be able to talk to each other. It's just kind of sad because I really expected them to be able to, I'm not talking about Avery and Grayson, I'm talking about all of them together in one room. It just becomes so awfully awkward, and it's just like, no, I wanted them to be able to talk, but they cannot. So sadly, we have to accept that. One last thing I wanted to talk about is that we got a conversation between Grayson and Avery, which I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if it's just me. And I was, okay, I thought there were gonna be a lot of conversations between the two of them, but it was only at the end. It was only at like, what? Chapter probably 81, 83. They only spoke in that chapter. And I was like, no. Maybe in the beginning too. I forgot. I really wanted them to have more conversations together because I really want them to sort things out. I still feel that maybe they have their things to work on and to care for themselves, and maybe they have to do that apart. I understand. So, but I'm very, very glad that they did have a conversation together because it was very meaningful. All the things that Grayson was doing in this book was for not only his sisters and not only his family, it was for Avery. I feel he felt very, very guilty because every single time he made a promise to Avery, especially, it's not he broke it, or maybe he did but he didn't mean to, and he just, it's almost like he didn't break a promise to her but to himself, and he was feeling so guilty about that. And so everything he did in this book was just so sweet and so kind. So the conversation they had was very, very meaningful to me. So I was really happy that they got to talk about it, and I'm just really happy that they're able to have conversations like this without feeling awkward, you know, and feeling that they should not be together. I'm really excited for the next book, The Grandest Game. Hopefully they will be able to talk again. Yeah. Okay, so we are finished with this whole book review. I love this style of videos. I don't know about you. If you do, please comment down below. If you do not, it's okay. I really like this book. So what rating will I give it? I will give this book a, drum freeze, 3.9. 3.9, yay! The reason why I will not put it at a 4, I feel that it was not a 5-star rating for me. There were some things that I did dislike, but there were also some things I really, really liked, so that's why it was over a 3.5. But the reason why it wasn't over a 4.0 is because I feel like it missed a lot of key points that I'm pretty sure every reader of Jennifer Lynn's Barn, the Inheritance Game series, wanted. Mostly wasn't in this book. Like, we wanted conversations between Avery and Grayson. We got that once or twice in the book, which is fine, but we definitely expected a little more. We wanted no more awkwardness between Jameson, Grayson, and Avery, but we still felt that. That's why I did not go over a 4.0, but I still really, really enjoyed the book. That's why I gave it a 3.9, which is really, really good. Still very, very good. I enjoyed this book. I hope you guys did too. Well, you didn't read it yet, probably, but to all my readers out there who have read this book, if you have, please comment down below if you like this and what rating would you give it and why, if you want to, because I am very mindful of your opinion and I would want to know what you think about this book. So yeah, I will stop the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed filming it for you guys, and I will see you guys next Sunday. Bye, sunshines!